success. It doesn't matter whether you are a politician, a doctor, a military clerk, or a simple person. You must practice more and more to get experience it and be successful in the end. Hello everyone, this is again AZ Lessons by Javlon Bektaş Boltaev, and in this video tutorial we will talk about the multiple pie charts in the academic writing task 1. Stay tuned and keep watching our video lessons. Preparation for the IELTS examination also requires much practice. As you practice more, you will be aware of your weaknesses more. Achieving high results in the IELTS examination comes after correcting your mistakes and strengthening your weak points. Remember what legendary Jeet Kune Do master Bruce Lee said. He drew his attention to practice one single action for many times to be more successful.
I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times.
This quote also works for the writing task 1. Every day take one topic or theme for writing and make a report on it in many different ways. Next day, take another topic and repeat this method again. Paraphrase the ideas, find new synonyms, and change word patterns. By this way, you will be more experienced in writing task 1. And in the end, you will have your own original writing style. And remember that originality is one of the most crucial factors which guarantee you to get a higher score in the IELTS examination. Take a notebook and a pen or pencil to write down all the necessary and important strategies and phrases and vocabulary which are taught during my video lesson. I hope everything is alright and you are ready to start today's lesson. Let's go!
Okay, just imagine we are given these two pie charts. They represent data on migration rates into and from the UK in 2007. As you can see here, they consist of the same parts. They are formal studying, accompanying and joining, looking for a job, definite job, no reason stated, and other. We must give a brief information on them and compare where relevant. As usual, my video lessons start from the introduction part. In this section, you are able to see 4 possible forms of the introduction. Their levels of structure range from simple to complicated. Look at the example number 1. The two charts compare percentages of migrating in and out of the UK in 2007. Example 2. Given are two pie charts illustrating percentiles of migrants into and from the UK in 2007. Example 3. The pie charts compare the proportion of visitors from and to the UK and their various purposes in 2007. Example 4. The charts reveal the comparison of percentages of incomers and leavers of the UK as well as the nature of their visit in 2007. I hope everything is clear and you have the chance to write down all the examples in your notebook by pausing my video. Now we can turn the body parts. So in this body part, I have one example. Listen to me. The largest segments of both charts belonged to those who had definite jobs, and they indicated 30% and 29%. Next massive community of visitors to the UK were students with intention of formal studying, and their share was 26%, while the figure for this aim was the least, 4% in the second chart, for those who emigrated. Now you can identify these two sentences by looking at these pie charts. Here you can see that the biggest segments belong to the definite job, and they indicated 30% in immigration pie chart and 29% in emigration pie chart. And the next biggest community of visitors to the UK were those who had the intention of formal study, and they indicated 26%. But at the same time, the students who left the UK with the aim of formal studying were only 4%. Therefore, this number was the least among the other segments in the emigration pie chart. Okay, let's go on. There was a mere difference of 2% between immigrants and emigrants with purpose of accompanying, 15% and 13% for each. With the remaining categories, namely looking for a job, no reason stated and other, immigrants dominated by showing 22%, 18% and 40%. And these numbers were 12, 6 and 11% respectively for immigrants. And finally, it's time for ending part. In this ending part, you will be introduced to two different endings for this report. The first one. In summary, proportions for definite job were nearly equal in both charts. However, immigration's higher percentage in formal studying could be reflected in lower percentage of emigration for the same aim. Meanwhile, leftover reasons didn't witness sharp changes. Listen to the second example. By way of conclusion, the immigration chart was over the other one by segments of definite job, formal studying, and accompanying and joining. For the other half of the chart, emigration appeared to be leader. If you have copied out those examples, it's time for vocabulary bank. In this vocabulary bank, I have some crucial and important words and their synonyms, and those synonyms will be provided with examples also. And here we have the first word, it is segment. Segment. Listen to my example. I have used it in a full sentence. The largest segments of both charts belonged to those who had definite jobs, and they indicated 30% and 29%. What is a segment? Segment is a piece of pie chart or a line graph. So it means that it is especially used for pie charts and the line graphs. Here we have a pie chart and a line graph, and in this pie chart you can see 4 different segments. So these parts are called segment. Segment is a part of a pie chart which has been cut out. In a line graph, the distance between two numbers is called a segment. For example, right here we have one segment and it is lying between -3 and -2. And another segment which is between -2 and -1. So in total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 segments here. I hope everything is clear with this word. Now it's time for the second one. It is difference. Difference. Now you can learn it in a full sentence and its usage. There was a mere difference of 2% between immigrants and emigrants with purpose of accompanying, 15% and 12% for each. I'm sorry, there is one misunderstanding here. In this sentence, I'm telling that the difference of 2%, but unfortunately the numbers don't show the difference is 2%. Here you can see the difference is 3%. It's my technical mistake, therefore I apologize for this problem. Next time I'll pay attention carefully to this kind of things and factors. So difference is a variety or diversity. And I have a couple of examples here to explain the meaning of those words. There's a quite mixed variety of entertaining programs on TV. And example 2, there's a big diversity between education systems in Finland and Central Asian countries. So those words are interchangeable. They can take one another's place in sentences. When you want to describe some difference between objects or numbers or figures, you can use those words. And another word we have here is proportion. Proportion. Let's read it in a full sentence. In summary, the proportions for definite job were nearly equal in both charts. However, immigration's higher percentage in formal studying could be reflected in lower percentage of emigration for the same aim. Meanwhile, leftover reasons didn't witness sharp changes. And as usual, I have some synonyms for proportion. They are share, portion, and allotment. Now I can give you 2 examples to explain the meaning of those words. First one is for share. Share of this company is really high in the economy of the country. So I can say that proportion of this company is really high in the economy of the country. Next one is portion. We have spent a big portion of our income for buying a car. And again, I can say that we have spent a big proportion of our income for buying a car. So dear learners, we have finished the vocabulary bank and it's time for writing strategies. In this section, you will learn how to make right sentence structures. Let's start. When you are writing for task 1, first you must take the biggest changes or differences or figures. Then the lowest and the last normal ones. Thus, the first sentence has started by giving data on the biggest percentages. And I have used the following sentence structure. The largest segments of both charts belong to those who. For proving the fact is, for the 2 charts at the same time, the words both and belong to have been used. The following two sentences are related to each other. Draw your attention carefully and consider ways of changing words with their equivalent pronouns. Next massive community of visitors to the UK were students with intention of formal studying, and their share was 26%, while the figure for this aim was the least 4% in the second chart for those who emigrated. The word next shows the change of the idea, and it is referring to formal studying. Next sentence shows the exact percentage, 26%, and their share was 26%, while this figure for this aim was the least 4% in the second chart for those who emigrated. The word while means the comparison with the percentage in the second chart. And again, these 2 words, this aim, have changed formal studying to avoid repetition. Alright, let's go on. There was a mere difference of 2% between immigrants and emigrants with purpose of accompanying. 15% and 13% for each, with the remaining categories, namely looking for job, no reason stated, and other immigrants, dominated by showing 22, 18, and 40%, as these numbers were 12, 6, and 11% respectively for immigrants. Here the flow of ideas proves the two charts are being discussed at the same time. And naturally, readers can have a problem to identify which number belongs to what chart. Therefore, words for each have a big role not to let the reader confuse, which means that 15% belongs to the pie chart of the immigration and 13% belong to the emigration. In the following sentence, we have the words remaining categories. They indicate the factors which haven't been spoken about yet. In this part, the order of factors play an important role, and numbers in the next two sentences are also placed in this order, and respectively means for each. And finally, we have come to the analyzing the ending part. First, you must be aware of some words and word combinations which can be used to start your conclusion. They can be overall, in summary, in conclusion, to conclude. The first example. In summary, proportions for definite job were nearly equal in both charts. However, immigration's high percentage in formal studying could be reflected in lower percentage of immigration for the same aim. Meanwhile, leftover reasons didn't witness sharp changes. It is giving more brief information about the segments in these two charts. Proportions for definite job were nearly equal in both charts because the numbers are too close to each other. One of them is 30 and another one is 29. Students who have visited the UK for formal studying and their percentage is really high, 26, and meanwhile, the students who left the UK for formal studying were only 4%. Therefore, higher percentage in formal studying could be reflected in lower percentage of emigration for the same aim. And you can pay attention to the other segments. For example, accompanying and joining, 15, and here it is 13. And for example, here, the segment of other, it is only 11 persons for immigration and 14 for the emigration. Therefore, leftover reasons didn't witness sharp changes. This sentence structure has been written to show that there was no big change between two pie charts, especially for those parts. And the last one. By way of conclusion, the immigration chart was over the other one by segments of definite job, formal studying, and accompanying and joining. For the other half of the chart, emigration appeared to be leader. This conclusion is completely different from the first one. Immigration chart was over the other one by segments of definite job, formal studying, and accompanying and joining. Just pay attention. This is the pie chart for immigration and it was over the other one. So the other one means that pie chart of emigration. By segments of definite job, it is 30%, formal studying, 26%, accompanying and joining, it is 15%. So these three segments of the chart of the immigration were higher than those in the chart of the emigration. For the other half of the chart, I mean that no reason stated, other, and looking for work, immigration appeared to be leader. Why? Because here you can see that looking for a job was 22% for immigration, but it was only 12% for immigration. And no reason stated was 18% for immigration, and it was only 6% for immigration. And the last one, which is called other, was 14% for immigration, and it was 11% for immigration. Therefore, immigration seemed to be leader.
Dear learners, this is the end of today's video lesson. I hope the strategies, sentence structures, and new vocabulary that you have learned in my video lesson will be very important and useful for achieving you a higher result in the IELTS examination. Don't hesitate to share my video lessons if you find them useful. See you in the next lesson. Until this time, take care of yourself. Goodbye.